and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about bodysuit cosplays. So I have a ton of these kind of cosplays. They're either spandex or like a very stretchy material. And because I have so many, I wanted to show you three of them that I have at three different price points from three different places. So I have so many of these that I've worn throughout the years. I've been cosplaying for about 7 years now, and these are some of the easiest cosplays to do, and they're pretty cost efficient if you buy it from the right place. They do have special needs and cares that I will get over as well, but for now, we're going to start with this one, which is Phoenix from the Marvel Universe. This one is from Ruby's costume. A cool thing about it is that it's actually like Marvel merchandise, and then it's got the Ruby's tag, and it does actually tell you the material that this is made from. It is foam polyester, which means that it's going to be a little bit stiff, but that allows it to have this really nice metallic-y kind of texture slash like look to it. It does glisten a lot, which I do really love. And one thing about this costume is the fingers are actually really well made. You can see that they're not too long or too silly looking. However, with this being like a foam polyester, it is going to be stiffer, and this isn't going to be like super defined. Yes, it is a 3D element to where it is like on top of the cosplay. However, it is extremely stiff and prone to wrinkling. I personally haven't found a way to like get wrinkles out of this kind of material safely, so I kind of just hope that like hanging it up while taking like a hot shower helps, and it does a little bit, but it doesn't do all of it. Putting it on will help get these wrinkles out. However, it's just a little silly kind of material. This suit specifically doesn't have any foot like socks on it, which is very common for these kind of like bodysuit cosplays, but it is not a deal breaker in my opinion. This one for Phoenix specifically has the sash sewn in, and while it is not the best material, it does match it perfectly. So that is something that could save you time if you do want to alter it. The like thigh boots look already sewn in as well. You can either just make some boot covers or just not show your feet. For this cosplay, I've seen it on Amazon for about $35. It does go up depending on the time of year since this is a Halloween specialty store. But now I'm going to show you what it looks like on. Right, so this is the first suit on. Like I said, it is a like foam polyester material, which means that it's not like breathable really, unfortunately. Like I'm already pretty toasty in this, and I've only been wearing it for like 2 minutes, but I really do love the pop-up element of the logo here. One thing that I don't love is that it's a little bit uneven in the stitching, and you can see the wrinkles of this material, but that is just kind of how the foam spandex works. And then also for this one, I will say the zipper isn't entirely seamless. You can still see it. It is not technically an invisible zipper, although it is a little bit hidden. It is not very well hidden. But I do absolutely love how shiny and aggressively metallic this looks. During certain photo shoots, this can really give you that unrealistic superhero kind of like angelic vibe if you are going for that. And I do love how high up the texture on here goes. The stitching on the front of it is actually really seamless from the gold to the red, which I do really appreciate. But unfortunately, on the sash, it is only one-sided with the material, so the parts that are like folded outward are going to be that tacky kind of yellow gold that you can see. And again, it is stitched up here. Personally, if I were to like arrange that starting point, I would have it a little bit lower, but I think it works for what we're doing. And again, this isn't like a character that I spend like a lot of money on. I don't plan to make this like a canon character in my career, so it works for what I have. This is secondhand, so I do want to point out some of the wear and tear that this kind of material can get. You can see where the metallic part is flaking just a little bit and kind of showing the base coloration under it. Now there is a hole in this one specifically to be able to like pop up my thumb and use my phone and stuff, because the original owner did that. I don't normally do that to my bodysuits. I just carry around a pen that has one of the little sensitive points on it, but that is my preference and not the same for everyone. Another letdown of this one is that the feet are completely out. The grippers are out. So I would either have to make boot covers like I mentioned before or buy really expensive boots to match this vibe. But, you know, it works for just a quick little photo shoot. It works as a base piece. And if you ever wanted to make your own, this is a great way to pattern out a suit that will fit you better. And yeah, on to the next one. This is my mid-tier suit. This is Diva Mercy, a mashup of the two characters from Overwatch. I got this off of eBay for about $43, and it is a mid-tier quality suit. Now, a couple of the things that make it a mid-tier is that the only tag indicator in it says the size that I got, which is a medium. But it doesn't really say anything else about the material that this is made of, what kind of like washing and care you need with this specific suit. And also the neckline is super funky, which is in character, but I just don't like it. A couple other things to note is that the fabric itself is pretty thin. You'll be able to see my thumbnail almost completely through the white parts of this suit, and even the chipped nail polish that I got going. It is a thinner material. It doesn't feel like spandex, but it looks like it. It almost feels like a biker short kind of like mix of material, cotton maybe, and spandex, but you know, it gets the job done. It's not perfect. It does have a single very, very long zipper in the back that connects to other stitching that is already kind of separating around these stress points. Another thing to note about these suits in particular when buying them on the cheaper side is that the print doesn't always match up. It is pretty close on this one, which I am impressed by because I really wasn't expecting that much of like an actual seamless kind of look, but it is definitely not perfect when you look at the fine details, which is okay because for the most part, they're not going to be looking at that. But yeah, this is the mid-tier suit. It is just from eBay, and I do really like the shading on it. The other thing to note is that unfortunately, because it is from eBay, I don't know where it came from exactly. So I can't give credit because the shop is gone. But, you know, it works for what I need. It is a size medium. And yeah, let me try it on and show you what it looks like. All right, so we are on the mid-tier bodysuit. This is what it looks like on. As I said before, this is a mashup of Diva and Harley from Overwatch. So it's got the medic symbols on it, but it still looks like a mech suit as well. And just starting off the bat, you can really see through the white. You can see the like undergarments that I'm wearing, which is not, you know, desirable. So I would personally wear a leotard on it like I am now, but you know, just something to keep in mind when buying like white suits that are a little bit lower quality is they're going to be a little bit sheer, and that is just because of the cheaper material in it. But another one I wanted to point out is the gray like armor texture parts. They are not as defined as the high quality one that I'm going to be showing you. They are still there for sure, but they don't line up on my knuckles and there's no real definition to them. You can see that there is like almost some, but it is not well defined. You can really see the finger stitching as well and how much pokes out at the top there. It's just a little goofy. But yeah, other than that, you can see the seam here and how high up this neck part goes. Now, I don't mind when a neck part is high up. However, for this one specifically, I will be taking it in a little bit just because it's a little bit baggy. And I don't love the bagginess around the like armor design there. But other than that, it actually fits really, really well. It has a little bit of extra material in the arms, but it's not even bad. It allows me to do a little bit more movement. But the yellows and golds actually have some pretty good coloration for the price point, which I do really like. I think that it is nice to actually be able to see the ombre instead of just like splitting right into the next color. But yeah, this is the mid-range one. And one other thing about this is it's got the feetsies, which I like. Because then I can just throw a pair of shoes on and call it a day. I don't like buying specific boots for characters. It is so expensive. And yeah, on to the next one. All right, and this is my top tier bodysuit. This one is actually from Amazon and it was gifted to me off my wish list. It cost about $75 and it is a much thicker, much stretchier, and much more defined print. So a couple things to note is that the lines actually match up almost perfectly on it. You can barely even tell where the seam is and where it meets on here. However, I do admit that this is a size too small for me, so it's a little bit stretched out from recent wear, but that is my fault, not the person that made this. A couple other things to note is the actual like color accuracy. This is one of the more accurate versions of a Diva like mech suit that I've seen, just because the blues are really crisp, the accuracy on the little gloves is really, really good, and the fingers are actually not too badly made. Again, this is a size too small for me, so if the fingers look a little bit too small, that is why, because they actually vary with the size from this Amazon seller. The zipper is not that long on this one, however. It stops at the mid back, but it allows for that print that goes all the way down to be a little bit more seamless. And there is a lot of shading and texture on this suit as well, which I really do enjoy. I think this one fits the best out of all of my bodysuits right now. Even if it's a little snug, I really, really love this. On the tags, it does also say that it is polyester 92% and spandex 8%. That seems to be a really good combo for a bodysuit cosplay. And now it is time to show you what this one looks like on. This is the top tier bodysuit on. As you can tell, it is quite slimming. I really like that. It is a little bit tight, but again, my fault for that. You can see the finger details on it are very, very nice. And one thing I want to point out is the texture on the palm. I really, really like that small detail. I know it's not like a big thing, but I think it's pretty cool. And the fingers are nice and rounded off. I really like the seamlessness there. And yeah, you can tell the little like metal pieces have some like shading on it to really make it pop. I really like the way the white has grays mixed into it on this suit. And yeah, it fits so well. It is actually really, really comfy to wear, and it's not too high on my neck. Still, I think the reason this is the higher price point is because the prints match up so well along the stitching and that the overall coloration is really, really high quality. It does help that the zipper is like a really good invisible zipper. I have never had an issue with it. It is easy to pull up all on my own, surprisingly. And yeah, this suit just blows me away every single time I wear it. I absolutely love how it fits, how it feels, and how easy it is to take care of. I am, of course, a little bit paranoid when it comes to wearing bodysuits because, like, I have ruined so many in the past. So even though I've had this one for like 3, 4 years, you can't even really see the fuzzies on it. And that is probably because it is a higher quality print and my paranoia. But yeah, this is what this one looks like on. And yeah, I absolutely love it. And that is it for showing you what they look like and the different comparison points between them. A couple things to note is these are not custom sizing. You can get them custom print and size through many different services online. These are just what works for me. I like to just buy them pre-made and hope that they work. And I know that's not the best way to do it, but it's again what works for me. For the care for these, I actually throw them in a delicate load in the wash if they are spandex material or polyester like driven. But for ones that are similar to the Phoenix, I just spray it down with a 2 parts vodka, 1 part water mix, and that kind of kills bacteria, sanitizes, and allows it to just stick around longer in my inventory. However, with these bodysuits, it's obviously how you wear them and how safe you are being while you are doing all the cleanup process. These kind of bodysuits tend to have fuzzies if you are sitting on concrete, touching certain kind of textures, and even using Velcro to add texture and 3D elements to your cosplay. So you really just have to be careful with what you're doing and what you're using around these. It is not hard to get stains out of them. However, just, take your time, be easy on your stuff. There are ways to glue like shoes and bottoms to the like foot part. A lot of people use the swim kind of shoes, rip the soles off and just like put them on. I personally just wear flats or boots with them because it's what I feel comfortable doing. I like to have a little bit of support on my feet, so it is just my preference. That is how I wear them. And yeah, I think these are a really, really easy way to do cosplays and be comfortable at events. I personally wear a little bit of a like body shaper with it because I am prone to bloating and it just makes the suits feel a little bit slimmer on me. But there's no need to do that. I do recommend having a little bit of protection in your undergarments. So for anyone male presenting, cupping, for anyone female presenting, just some kind of like extra layer there to prevent anything unseen being seen, if you get what I mean. And yeah, I hope that this helped you learn a little bit more about these kind of cosplays. I will be linking the ones that I can find down below for these examples. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I just want to give a big shout out to all of my patrons, including those in the Mr. Stark tier, Louis, Mondo, and John. Thank you guys so much.